said he's glad Chief Keef is alive, not in prison. After revealing he was on the FBI watch list and had a 50K hit on his head after signing $6 million deal with Interscope at the age of 16. So I did listen to it. It was entertaining. Was it on Spotify?
Spotify.
Spotify. What podcast?
It was New York Times music podcast.
Yeah, so it's an audio only. I don't think
only.
there's video, but I've seen some clips on Instagram, and my co-host played me the whole clip of him talking about Chief Keef. But yeah, it was really intense, and he was saying like how he kind of had to save Chief Keef on multiple occasions.
Yeah, he had to save Chief Keef on multiple occasions. Basically how he had the whole 50K hit on his head when he first signed him, and how also he was basically wanted by he was on the FBI wanted list. And I do remember that because that was around the time when he up and went to California, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, why Chief Keef don't come back to the city?" And
I can tell you why. So basically, yeah, people did give him some flack for that. I definitely do remember when he did move to California. They're like, "Why? How are you gonna leave your home?" But he was like literally banned from a city. Like he couldn't do any shows in Chicago. Like the mayor banned him, and he was like dang near had so many rules against him that he was dang near banned from like Chicago. Yeah, like the downtown area.
Remember, it was so bad to the point where he did the Chief Keef hologram, and they even shut that down.
Yeah. He basically, I think he was in Indiana,
yeah,
or another state around, and they did a show where they had a Chief Keef hologram. He wasn't even there, and a lot of people showed up, and the police came and pulled the plug and stopped the show like after a couple songs. I remember seeing footage of that back in the day. So yeah, they were completely against him. So he dang near had no choice but to move to California. And this guy said how he looked after him, and like when they did the iconic Lollapalooza, when Chief Keef had like all the guys from like O Block and Front Street on stage in Chicago, like his most iconic performance where he had like 50 people on stage, that he actually booked him a hotel downtown and made sure that they had connecting rooms so he could wake him up in the morning, and made sure he made the show. And then he also mentioned about him missing the Hate Being Sober photo shoot, right?
Yeah, he talked about the infamous Hate Being Sober photo shoot with he had 50 Cent, and I didn't even know Wiz Khalifa was there. I don't even think.
Yeah, he was in the song too. Yeah, they both were 50 Cent, Wiz Khalifa, Chief Keef, and they were in the desert. They had it all lined up with like the four wheelers or whatever it was called. Like the cage.
The Doom buggies.
Yeah, the Doom buggies. Exactly. Thank you. And like the four wheelers and all of that. And since he thought someone else had taken care of basically making sure he's on time, and they didn't, that he didn't show up. He's like, he literally had to dang near have a babysitter where he wasn't making anything on time. True. Sounds like my coast.
I mean, that's what you got.
All these prima donnas.
Hard, but I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, you hear a lot of stories about artists. It's like the whole Get Him to the Greek movie. You remember how he had
with Diddy?
With Diddy, and he had to basically make sure that Brandon Russell makes it to the show concert, and like Brandon what is Brandon Russell?
It's not Brandon.
Russell Brand?
Russell Brand.
Yeah, my bad. Russell Brand. How Russell Brand basically had to make it to the show. He's like, whatever you do, make it to the show. Like, all he wanted to do was party and have fun and get messed up to the point where he had to take the alcohol from him, drink all the alcohol, so he wouldn't be too intoxicated. And he
He started doing
started puking.
Yeah, taking all the festivities and drinking all the drinks and being all crazy. He's like, no, my.
Exactly.
He's like, you got to get up in the morning. And it was funny, because when he first got with him, the guy, he kept on telling him, we'll take the next flight.
Exactly. And then he had to stick the whole thing up his butt. Because
I knew you were going to bring that up. I was going to not bring it up. I knew you were going to bring up your
This is a job
part.
of an A&R, man. It's what you got to do when you're in the music business.
I know why you want to be an A&R so bad, especially out of New York.
Nah, man, this is hard. But I mean, the way he was talking about how Chief Keef missed that performance, and I mean, Chief Keef missed a lot of things. He messed up that. Remember, he did the whole Breakfast Club, the infamous Breakfast Club, when he's like, "Oh, how old are you?" He's like, "I'm 300."
Oh yeah, he was terrible at interviews. He didn't open up. He was super short in interviews. He missed photo shoots. For like magazine placements, interviews. He missed video shoots. I mean, this guy, even Larry Jackson, was saying that if he did the Hate Being Sober video with how much money they had spent to set everything up, if he would have done that, it would have been an epic video that put someone over the top. It would have been 50 Cent, Many Men,
or he was the sexy, it'd be the Sexy Red and Drake video. how that all came together. And they did it in Atlanta. I mean, that video was epic. That song did put her on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like to me, Chief Keef really killed it his like first 3 years, and then he had a lull where he kind of like let the money and the other things get to him. Where I think he was more focused on like getting messed up and partying than rather making quality music. But then I feel like, especially the last 5 years, he's really got back in tune and really put out 2 quality albums.
Yeah, I'm surprised
in the last 5 years.
Do you think that saved his career? Like basically, like him messing up and him
getting, like he's not sober by any means. Like he's not like a someone that does nothing. But I think he's a lot more responsible and does things in moderation now. He seems a lot more healthy. His weight looks better. He just looks a lot better in his face. So I'm happy for him, especially since his cousin. We all miss Fredo Santana. He passed away because he had kidney or liver failure. Excuse me, because he was someone that was addicted to drinking lean, kind of how the Screw, Houston rappers were all addicted to, unfortunately he had a seizure when no one was home and lost his life due to a seizure. So I'm glad Chief Keef also was heavy into that.
Yeah, he was heavy.
I don't know if he really still does that anymore. I think we got to worry about Tadoe. Honestly, not to be disrespectful, Tadoe, but you look like your health isn't the greatest right now. Bala looks like he's doing mediocre, but yeah, Tadoe, you know what you need to do.
Yeah, and then
just be responsible, man.
Sure.
You know what it is. Like just fun and moderation, even if that's your thing. Like just do it every once in a while. You ain't got to do it all day, every day.
Yeah, because I mean, they did just drop the Glow Game 20v1, and then you see Tadoe on there, Ball Out, and also
Tadoe looks like he ate Tadoe.
Basically,
looks like a Tadoe mascot.
He looks like
a cartoon version. Like what a coyote looks like, but the coyote for the Spurs looks like a cartoon version. He looks like a cartoon. He looks like a mascot version of himself.
Like when Goku and Vegeta fused, and they became
Gogeta or Vegito,
the fat one.
Oh yeah.
Basically,
I think it was Gogeta, but the misfused form.
Exactly, it was that. That's exactly how he looks. It looks crazy. I mean, face fat. It's just crazy.
I mean, it's not necessarily about the weight he's gained, but his face just looks swollen
because of all that lean.
That's what I'm saying. Like he needs to get healthy. Doo-Wop looks like he's gotten a lot healthier. Capo's brother, R.I.P. Capo. But yeah, he's also a part of Chief Keef and GB and all that. But seems like he's doing better. But shout out Ball Out. He just put out a tape. That's my music pick of the week. Spoiler alert.
Is Chief Keef still banned? Because I remember I know he just
banned
successfully.
From Chicago?
Yeah, I know he just successfully did a show, but like they said, he was only there for less than 24 hours. It was like in and out type of thing. Like they let him.
I don't know if it was an event. I don't think it was Lollapalooza, but it was like a Lollapalooza-like event. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, because I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it was like one of those like Rolling Loud Lollapalooza type events. And it was in Chicago, and I think he flew in, did the show, hung out for a minute, and then got out of there and then flew out. I think he was in there less than 12 hours or less than 8 hours or whatever they said.
Yeah, they not playing with Chief Keef at all. You would think they would.
He's like, I'm literally there just to do the show, and I'm leaving. I'm not hanging out because people be on him. That's where he's from. He has a lot of enemies there, especially if you're in a notorious. I guess you could say gangster rapper, and everyone that's a gangster rapper has enemies, and if you're the most notorious, that means you're the number one target. So you don't really want to go in your number one, the area where you're the number one target.
Basically, but y'all comment down below how y'all feel about this whole situation.
But shout out Chief Keef. Everyone's giving him praise because he's a lot of people hated on him for kind of not really being so in tune with O Block and stuff when he left. Kind of leaving that stuff behind because they had a disagreement about things, but it seems like he made the right choice. He's free, he's living life. He did his tour that did great. He's got a critically acclaimed album, Almighty So 2. Check that out, Apple Music or Spotify. But a critically acclaimed album that is getting a lot of praise, and he's basically away from the BS, living his life. He's got a mansion in California with nothing filled with video games, so he's just a big kid living life, and I'm glad to see him winning.
Definitely glad to see him winning, man. But shout out Chief Keef. Comment down your favorite Chief Keef song, your favorite Chief Keef album. But moving